And we're back. It's the Acolyte. Again, I'm John Stark from actingmovieguy.com. Might still be your favorite blind film critic. I don't know. We're hanging in there on the Acolyte. It's season 1, episode 6. I'm just gonna start saying episodes. This thing has like a 3.4 on IMDb. There's no way they give this a second season. This is not happening. I don't care how many seasons they thought they were going to give this show. It's not happening. This show will not be renewed. There's too much. The hate is too wide for the show, and it's becoming frustrating. Like, it's becoming harder and harder to stand up for it. I had somebody tell me that actually they thought the last episode was the only good episode, and it's like, that's fine if you believe Manny Jacinto as a Sith Lord. Like, I can't do that, though. Like, for me, I think it's casting. It comes down to casting. And also, I didn't like the fact that they took out an actor that I actually enjoyed. I enjoy their presence, and I wanted them to be able to have the opportunity to do Jedi shit more than, like, a few seconds of it before they died. So I was looking forward to seeing Daphne Keane in the show. So shortchanging her was not a fun experience for me. So I did not like episode 5 for various reasons, and a lot of it had to do with casting. Don't bring Daphne Keane into a role that doesn't befit her. If you're just gonna, I didn't even know, I'm not really familiar with Charlie, whatever his name was, playing the other guy that died. But I am familiar with Daphne and her work, and the thought of X-23 doing Jedi stunts was really exciting. And then it always felt like, well, she's the Padawan, so I kept waiting for her to have a moment, but it's just, she finally gets one and she dies. And it's just like, oh, well, shit. So now we're left with the remnants of what happened in episode 5, where May switches places and she goes off and tries to pretend to be a Jedi with Soul, and meanwhile O'Shea Jackson Jr. is O'Shea is stuck with our I don't know. Manny Jacinto. I don't know. Just so disappointed. Anyway, so on the Jedi side of things, not much happens in this episode. I'm just gonna be real honest. Really, not much happens. I felt like I was like, this is the episode. So all you miss is basically O'Shea talks to Manny Jacinto for a long time. Nothing really happens, and she gets this like sensory deprivation helmet at the end, and that's how we end the episode. Is the helmet is supposed to help her block out all other things so she can feel the Force. Because remember, O'Shea wasn't really strong with the Force, but obviously her sister is, and there's probably the training that her sister used. So maybe this dude is going to help her find the Force. Even though he's coming at it from the dark side, which he admits. He's like, yeah, well, there are other ways of doing it, but, he hints at a backstory that is not really ever resolved, but we may get it resolved by the end of the series. I'm not really that interested. I love when he's like, the boat's about to leave, just swim. And I was like, where the fuck are you? And aren't there usually things in the water? In every Star Wars series, it's not just like, I feel like it's not like Earth, where you just happen to be somewhere and you're like, oh, I could swim that. What's my biggest risk? Maybe a shark, I feel like in the Star Wars universe, you have to be uniquely aware of every single body of water and like what could be in it on that planet, and you're like, I don't feel like I'm gonna get in that water. Even though he was in the water, you're just, I don't know, swimming though, like, because when you get too far out, you're like, okay, so something bigger that couldn't have gotten closer to shore where he was, maybe could be out there. Like, I was thinking about those things. I was like, he's just a swim. okay. Do we do that on these planets? Did we just... You were just attacked by giant moths and carried off in just a few, like, last episode. Um, he just seems to have no awareness of, he's like, yeah, whatever, plant life, the flora and fauna, I don't care, whatever. You know, I am me, I'm Moby, and I'm a Sith Lord. God, he's bad in this role. I love Manny Jacinto, but yeah, and he's trying to be like really serious now, but he doesn't come across as anything. He just comes across as like, so what do you want from life? The Jedi have stolen that from you, and they've stolen it from me. Like, I'm just like, oh, what is this performance? What are we doing? What are we doing here, sir? Meanwhile, with Osha and May, Pip turns on, and Pip figures out this is not Osha, and starts freaking out, and then she factory resets him. I didn't know we could do that. It's just... This is like instantaneously, this factory could you imagine if people just started factory resetting all of the droids in all of the other films? Be like, oh, that was R2D2 now. I don't know who... It's just a factory reset version of R2D2. Like, she just holds down a button and factory resets him. I was so dumb. That was so dumb. She finds a body for him and detaches it, and then she's the Otter Jedi is made it back to the ship, and he knows that she's not Osha, but I don't know that he knows how to communicate that except to just be mad at her and step on her foot and like hide and run away. So she sits down and have a conversation with Soul, who says that, you know, he's really depressed about what happened, and he remarks about how she still has Pip and how he always admires how she takes care of the droid and treats it, you know, like it's not just a droid to her. And then basically knocks her out, straps her to the bed, and is like, I know you're May. I've been waiting 16 years to tell you this, and you're going to sit there and listen. And we don't get that conversation. Maybe we will in the next episode, but the conversation that we probably should be having, that probably should have taken up the whole episode, didn't happen in this episode. We cut from Solby. Solby, like, we need to talk. You know, I've been thinking about what I would say to you and for 16 years, and I was like, oh shit, this is gonna be great. Fuck me. We're not putting that in this episode. Okay. It better be in the next episode, because if we just jump it and then all of a sudden, like, May's just like, oh my god, remember that thing you told me? I can't believe I didn't know that. My eyes are open now. Thank you so much, Soul. You know, just... Anyway, and the Jedi boss and her Jedi squadron are out there. I love the conclusion too, where they're like, somebody must have known. We got ambushed. Somebody must have known. It's like, no, they were already on the planet. You can't gaslight me. You're not gonna gaslight me here. No, you guys got there after May and Manny were on the planet. And obviously, we haven't seen any suggestion that he's working with anyone else. He has no army, so he obviously snuck away and killed Kielbasa. whatever the Jedi Wookiee's name was. And yeah, I mean, it's just those two people. They were already on the planet. You didn't get... Nobody alerted you to anything. She had this very specific list of the Jedi she needed to kill, and he was on the list. Like, please don't get stupid. Please don't get worse. Please don't follow that. There is no reason. There's nothing to indicate that he has been getting, uh, he's getting information based on that experience. But yet they're like, oh, somebody must have said something. And then uh, the main Jedi is like, how do you know? Because I sent them there. It's like, oh no, is she the bad guy? I don't know. No one should be the bad guy. We have a bad guy. He is a Sith Lord. He was already on the planet. He did not show up on the planet because of them. There are only 4 Jedi. He had already killed 2 of them. The other one is Sol. So, like, legitimately, where else were they going to go? Where else was May and her Dark Lord going to go? Where else? Logistically speaking. But yet they're all like, somebody must have said something. Or you're a dumbass. That's also an option. That's totally possible. We have not explored that option yet. We probably should. I really liked the show in the beginning. I thought the first 2 episodes were great. I don't know what has happened since then. It's like suddenly when we went space witches, and then just everybody lost all sense of reason. Generally, these films have like writers' rooms. And if there was like a writer who was like, I got the first 2 episodes, guys, you guys start on the rest. And split the work or something. Whoever did like episodes 3 on, no, sir, step away from the Star Wars franchise. Yeah, I was willing to fight for the show and be like, yeah, this is great. I love the show. It's amazing. Excellent. I still believe there are parts of it that are great. I still think some of the casting is great. I love Soul. I do. Like, if there's one character, if I could just pluck a character from this show and put him into another show so that he could survive, and then just like jettison the rest of the show, I would save Soul, and I'd put Soul into another into a better Star Wars show, and be like, well, he was cool, or revive Carrie-Anne Moss. Like, one of those 2 things would happen. But yeah, Soul is like the last. I like Pip too, but I don't know how you just transplant. We've got plenty of droids, but Pip is just, unfortunately, he's proof that we write better droids than we do human characters in these franchises. That we write really strong droids, but we can't write really good characters, you know? Like, but the droids are excellent. Like, Pip is on point yet again, as BB-8 was, as every droid in every version of Star Wars has ever been. I don't think anybody's ever been like, wow, that droid sucks. This is the worst droid. But yeah, I can't. This franchise is just, I don't know what's happening to the Acolyte, but this was a waste of an episode. Nothing happens. Nobody goes anywhere. They all want to talk about something, but nobody ever talks about it. That's the biggest thing about this episode, is everybody alludes to shit and nobody actually talks about the shit. And like, I don't need an entire episode full of alluding to things. You know, like, you got your Sith Manny that he's like, I used to be a Jedi, and then they threw me away. What's that scar? I'm never gonna talk about that either. Like, I can't tell you too much about my past. We're not done with the season yet. Things are still to be revealed. And then, like, Soul's like, I've been waiting 16 years to tell you this. Cut away. This is a whole episode. That's basically what it is we have shit to talk about, but we're not going to talk about it. Put on his helmet. Scene goes to black. Credits roll. Fuck you. I'm going to give Star Wars The Acolyte Season 1, Episode 6. I'm not really sure that maybe got a little bit worse. We've gotten down to a C+ in the last episode. This didn't really go anywhere or do anything, so I'm gonna give it a C-. I'm not really sure what the purpose of this episode was, other than the fact to reveal that everybody knows who everybody is. Like, yeah, I know we didn't get the right version of the twin, you know? Like, okay, well, that's like 5 minutes. You can do that in like 5 minutes and then progress. I Please make your show interesting. Please make it good. I don't know how we come back from this. I don't know how I ever get back up into an A in the final couple episodes here. I don't know how that turns around. I don't know what big reveal they could possibly have, you know, to save it. I don't know where this series could possibly go at this point to go like, oh my God. Oh, but that finale. Wow, those twists and turns and those characters, and I didn't know. You know, I don't even know. I don't even know what that could possibly look like. So we're down the rabbit hole. But damn, I really was excited about this cast and talk about using everybody in the wrong way. But I would save Soul. I want a Soul show or a Soul. No, I don't want a Soul show. I think because then he'd probably be attached to the same writers. I want Soul to be in something else. I want him to be transplanted into like Ahsoka or something like that. Mandalorian, sure, but I think they're not doing another season right now. They're making a movie. So, but he could be that. I'm good with that. Whatever. Just put Soul in something else and keep him. Maybe he can take Pip and Pip can be his droid. Uh, Kill everybody else and move on. So yeah, that's it. I don't like the show anymore, but I'm gonna keep recapping it just like everybody else on the internet. But they hated it from the beginning, and some of them for various reasons. I don't like people who are just trolling Disney to troll Disney. Uh, I don't do that. So thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing, and I will see you guys on the other side.